you okay?
Let's take out the last part.
I'm not taking it out.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Thank you.
Because I was thinking about it. I was like, I never considered that, but I appreciate it.
Well, look, I'm giving you something to think about.
I appreciate it.
We're healing and you're growing at your big age.
Let's sit on the couch, let's talk it out. Come on, join the show, I'll tell you what I know. Oh, talk about it. It's the best podcast, let's have a blast.
Hey friends, I am in desperate need of another vacation. You know, there's just something about seeing the world, experiencing another culture, leaving your comfort zone, and just, relaxing or going balls to the wall. I'm not judging. But so far, my travels are nowhere near today's guest because he keeps that tray table and that seat back in full upright position. World traveler, content curator, and founder of TrayTableSeatBack, Rahiem Johnson. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the podcast, season 3 of the Archie podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Wow. So I hear you flew all the way in for this.
I did. I did.
That's so cool.
I've been flying a lot this week.
Yes. And so you also, before you came to the podcast, you talked to your best friend?
I did.
Mm-hmm. To set the tone for the energy in this room. You talked to your best friend who is?
Jesus.
Okay.
Because anybody who watched the Archie podcast know that you never know what to expect. So me and Jesus had a really good conversation.
Well, great. I'm glad you are close with the Lord and you're ready to get buckled up, okay? So I want to thank you, though, for being here because my assistant, who kind of does, all the things online, told me that you had been in her email for a few months now. So I'm glad to have you here on the couch. I want to jump straight into it because you have this Black-owned travel company and you provide services all over the world. You've been to every country, every continent nearly. But how many people have thought that your travel service was too good to be true and was pyramid scheme adjacent?
I think most. I started the company around the time that like Firefest thing happened.
Oh, wow.
So it was not the best time to kind of start a business. Mm-hmm. So I think people were like, I'm sending money to a stranger. How do I know he's not going to take my money?
Right.
But one of the things I make sure I do is every trip, I thank people because I know it's not every day that we're sending money to a stranger.
Yeah. Okay.
But I think having a page, seeing people talk about it, hearing all the great reviews make people more comfortable.
Yeah. So it's just like after a certain amount of time, the word kind of speaks for itself. So how do you go about getting sponsors for these incredible trips around the world?
We don't get sponsors.
No.
So
walk me through the setup. Like, how does this go?
We put on our website. I kind of determine per month what trip we're going to go on.
Yeah.
I kind of let people know about 7 to 8 months in advance.
Mm-hmm.
We do payment plans because we do monthly payments because our target audience is the working class Black American.
Yeah.
So we make sure it's affordable.
Yeah.
And we may open a trip to 20 people. That's our max. So once 20 people pay the first deposit, it's closed.
And it's like 20 random people coming together?
People.
Okay.
Random people.
And has it ever been like any chaos that came out of that, or is it always good vibes?
Being completely honest, it's like 90-10. So I've had people where I'm just like, why did you come?
90-10, so 90 chaos and 10?
No.
Okay.
No. 90 great energy.
Okay.
But I do get those people where I'm like, why did you come?
Yeah.
And there was about one time I had to refund money back. She thought she was doing her due diligence, but she was undermining the company. So she was like writing hotels like, I just want to make sure they got a reservation here.
Oh, wow.
So I said, I appreciate you doing that. But if you check your account, your money is back in your account.
Well, you said not today.
Not today.
Not today, Nick. What is, shout out to Candace. Yeah. What is the importance of Black people, though, traveling in groups to see what many of us grew up seeing in photos?
I think it's important. It's very important.
Yeah.
It's necessary. I think because in this travel world, we see all these non-Black people traveling, and it gives the notion that Black people are not out there seeing the world, and we actually are.
Yeah.
And I feel like visibility creates believability, which is one of our mottos. And I feel like the more you see people that look like you out there doing it, it kind of inspires somebody else, boy, girl, trans, non-binary kid out there who thinks that what is only a hobby could be a dream.
Yeah.
Could be a job.
So how did you foster this dream? Like, what did you want to be and how did you get here? Because it's a very specific career.
Trust me.
Yes.
I sometimes ask myself, how did I get here? Because I'm one of those people who did not grow up traveling.
How old are you?
Do we have to talk about that?
How old are you?
28.
Okay. So you're over 35?
36.
Okay.
36.
So how did you get here?
So I did not grow up traveling. We did not have money. Between my mother and my stepfather, they had 8 children. So the most we were doing was like Virginia Beach every 2 years.
Yeah.
I did not take my first international trip until 2013.
Okay.
So 10 years ago.
Yeah.
I remember working and not having much of a like work-life balance.
Yeah.
And I said, you know what? I'm going to see the world.
Yeah.
And I remember like having this composition book, and people who I work with, we always talk about this composition book. I wrote down 20 countries I wanted to see.
Yeah.
And I literally just start traveling and checking places off. And before you know it, I was done my 20, and it was time to create another list of 20.
So how many countries have you been to exactly?
I think like 50 or 55 or 56.
Okay.
Like that.
That's crazy.
But there's 194.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of places I have not seen.
Right. Well, you got time. You're 36. TrayTableSeatBack was created, though, to bring visibility, diversity, and representation to the travel industry, as you kind of stated. But the travel industry, as it's found, I think, on your sites and things like that, or maybe it was sent to me through the info in Samantha or whatever, but it's a $1 trillion industry, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So approximately how much money have you made with this business?
Are we asking that? I make good money.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're going to end.
And this is what you want to do for the rest of your life.
This is what I want to do now.
Yeah.
As we know, just based on everyday life in the pandemic, tomorrow isn't promised. So what I want to do 5 years from now, I'm still just figuring it out.
Yeah.
But right now, I love what I do. But I told myself when I no longer love it, I will no longer do it. But right now, I absolutely love what I do. And more than that, the mission is bigger than the job.
Yeah.
And bigger than the money. Just getting more Black people out there to see the world. Because I remember there was a time when I was out traveling, and I would probably see like 1 or 2 Black people, and we would give each other like this head nod, like I see you.
The universal.
Like I see you.
Yes.
So it
We
feels
out here.
good taking a group of, like the last trip, we took 57 people to Dubai.
Now what?
I know.
Wow.
So that felt really good, you know?
Okay. So you like to uplift and highlight and be very clear about being a Black gay traveler. Like their whole mission is just, equity across the board. So as a Black gay traveler, how often do you make time for dating as you're in Dubai and Morocco and Bali, etc.?
Well, I'm recently out of a 2-year relationship.
Okay.
To be honest, prior to maybe 2 years ago, maybe before the pandemic, relationships weren't a priority. I was in relationships, but it was kind of like if it worked, it worked. If it didn't, it didn't. Now, based on the last relationship I was in and moving forward, is a priority. So traveling the world is great, but I would love to find that person that's for me to travel the world with. So yeah, I'm getting older, as you probably would say.
I didn't say it.
Well, you made it.
I didn't say it. You're older than me. Correct. We're all getting older. How about that, Rahiem?
Great.
Yes.
Great. So yeah, I would love to find the person that's for me, but I'm also not going to just settle for the sake of saying
Right.
I'm in a relationship.
Yeah. What's your sexual preference?
Like top, bottom?
Yeah.
I'm a top.
How's that going for you?
It's going great. There's a lot of bottoms in the world. It's going great.
What's your kink?
I don't know if I have a kink.
You don't think so?
Occasionally, I like groups.
Group sex.
Yeah.
Fun. And where are you?
Were you judging me?
No, not at all. I'm asking questions.
Okay.
Where are you based at, though? Because you travel the world. Like, what's home base for you?
Base. I'm from Philadelphia. I spent 2 years in Houston.
Yeah.
And I spent 2 years in Atlanta.
Okay.
And then as of August of last year, I put my stuff in storage and went to go live abroad. So I spent time in South Africa, Brazil, and Bali. So my base will be Atlanta when I get back to the States.
I was watching an interview with Angie Martinez and Taraji P. Henson. And Taraji, it's a great interview. You should check it out if you haven't. But Taraji was also speaking about how she just was not happy, right? And so she wanted to get back to herself. And she walks into rooms and she is the person who is, helping uplift everybody in the life of the party. And so she said that she was going to take this trip to Bali to try to reset and find herself for a whole month, which she did because she's back in the States. I saw her, online doing something else in America. And so that is over. But would you agree and say like that's the place to do that, to be just like reset, find self? I've never been to Bali.
Yeah, Bali is very eat, pray, love.
Yeah.
So, but Bali is also, I tell people, if you want to go with a bae, if you want to go with friends, if you want to turn up, If it's a spiritual retreat, Bali is the place. But I also think my place is South Africa. There's something about South Africa that allows me to just really like rejuvenate and just find my center and get back to like where I need to be. So South Africa is that place for me. But Bali is, I can see how people go to just really just unplug and really get back to themselves.
What's the worst date you ever been on?
Worst date. He's probably not going to like this. I don't even know if he's going to see this, but I went on a date with some guy from New York recently, and a Dominican guy. It was horrible. It was horrible. It was horrible.
Okay, why?
It was just a lot of like sarcasm and banter, and I think also he was very like touchy-feely, and that's not really my thing. I'm not really into PDA.
Okay.
And he was like, well, this is the way that I express love. And I'm like, yeah, but that's not the way I receive love. So yeah, you can... That's the way you express it, but you're not asking me if I'm comfortable with that.
Yeah.
And it would be like, we would have that conversation and he'd be like, okay, I get it. And then 2 minutes later, he'd be touching me again.
Okay.
And it's like, yo, bro, we had this
Respect
conversation.
my boundaries.
Yeah. But for him, it was like, well, this is how I show love. And I probably would never see him again.
My God, today. Are white people allowed on these trips?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. We create a space for Black people. White people are welcome. The same way every day, many Black people have to go into white spaces and conform. You're able to come. I'm not about to change the person on the website or change the videos or change how we act to make you comfortable. But we've had white people on trips and they've enjoyed themselves. They've been welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can come into our space.
Yeah.
Just know that this is a space for us and we're going to turn up and we're going to be ourselves. And
okay.
If you're okay with that, come on
through. What has been one of the most magical moments that you've had while traveling?
This Dubai trip. 3 days back from Dubai. I mean, even this morning we got a message. We start like a WhatsApp group and I got a message and somebody was like, it was the trip of my life. And even me and my team, we sat back and like, I got very emotional because we were taking 57 people. And I think when we had a meeting, we were just like, how is this going to work? We hope it works. Like we did all the work to make sure it worked, but to know that like literally all 57 people was like, this trip was like one of my favorite trips ever.
Yeah.
So like even scrolling on Instagram, everybody's posting their story. People like prepare to be sick of me because I'm going to be posting this for days.
Listen, okay, I would too. Were you in Dubai when Beyonce was singing?
No, I wish I was.
Damn, where were you at? Where were you at?
I was in Brazil when Beyonce was in Dubai.
Okay, fine. But to be Black and from Philly, what have been your interactions with other Black people around the world outside of the universal what's up? Like, to be from like America, what are some of the like, those universal experiences that just are memorable to you?
I think I also realized that there's many perks to being an American. Like, people love us around the world. And contrary to what a lot of people believe, people love Black American men around the world.
Well, right now.
So I know, and I also am very mindful that for a Black woman, that experience is very different. But for a Black man, most countries I go to, I am welcome, I am loved, I am admired, I am kind of places like Brazil, places like Brazil, I feel like pray. Like P-R-E-Y.
Oh.
Like I feel like they love Black men. We're like, they're infatuated with us.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, my experience outside of America has been really great. I actually tell people getting on a flight and leaving this country, I feel more safe than I do living in this country.
Now, do you travel for free?
No.
No?
No.
What? So you got to buy your own flight still?
I do. Shout out to, won't say no names, but Can
you tell me off the record? Because I need a connector.
The beauty of social media is some guy who I don't know, we kind of DM each other every now and then just to be like, hey, how you doing?
Yeah.
He put me on his flight benefits this year.
Because he wants to have sex with you.
No, he do not. There are good people in the world with good intentions. My friends are like, what do he want? I'm like, nothing. He wrote me in December and was like, you know what? I love your company. I love everything you stand for. I'm going to put you on my benefits.
Do you believe that, Darnell?
It's been 2 months now. I have never met him. He have never sent any kind of nudes. He's not trying to like meet up and do anything.
Now, do you send nudes?
Hold on. We're talking about the guy.
Do you send them?
I do.
Really? Unsolicited?
It depends on how the hold on, what do you call unsolicited?
Somebody don't want it, and it's unexpected, and it's invading their privacy and their day.
No, most times the conversation is going like, I could tell they want it.
Interesting. Oh, wow. So you have the chance to experience some of the world's best wines and spirits. And when we were sitting down, on this show, we like to have a good time and stuff. What you don't drink? So why do you not drink? What's that?
So I come from a family where my mother and my stepfather do not drink.
Mm-hmm.
That is the house I grew up in.
Okay.
My father, and his family, I would go there on the weekends and they would drink. And every time the drinks would start, so with the arguing, so with the fighting. So at a very young age, I was like, this house don't drink, this is how they act, this house drink, this is how they act. And I never had the desire to want to drink.
Yeah.
But my siblings, they do.
Yeah. Yeah. And do they start arguing?
No.
Or they still, okay, see, look.
But with my sister, partying until it's some hookah and some liquor.
Some hookah and some liquor. Saucy Santana recently said that no men should be
I seen it.
smoking hookah.
Foolishness.
That is for girls and gay guys.
But this
what
is
do you
why-
say to that?
This is why we need more people traveling the world.
Okay.
Because you have these Middle Eastern countries like Egypt and Turkey where they've been
Hookah
smoking
down.
hookah before.
Yes.
They call it shisha, and they've been smoking this before we even started.
Where the shisha?
So I would love for him to go to these places and tell them that girl, men shouldn't be doing it. He sounded crazy.
Oh.
And then also as a gender non-conforming man who wears makeup, that's where the thing comes with the LGBTQIA plus community. It's like we make statements like that, but then you want people to accept what is considered not normal in American society, men wear makeup. How do you make a statement like that and dress the way you do and present as the way you do? So, yeah.
Oh, what's your least favorite thing about travel?
The process, the airport process.
Oh my gosh, isn't
It's
it
so
so annoying?
invasive.
I wish I could just go. You said racist?
Invasive.
Oh, okay.
The way they pat you down and go through your stuff and touch you, it's just like...
And you don't like to be touched, as we learned from the Dominican.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, yeah.
In many places, some folks aren't safe because of race and sexual orientation. How do you stay away from that? And protect the people that you're traveling with? Like, what is that protocol?
Well, I also feel like there's strength in numbers.
Yeah.
So I feel like I don't think we've been anywhere where us as a group of Black people felt unsafe.
Okay.
Usually when you come in a group, it's safer and people accommodate you. You know, when you see 20 people, you know they come in with money. And money talks.
That's real.
But also, when it comes to sexuality, I also acknowledge that I have the privilege of being able to walk into a room and somebody not being able to identify
For sure.
that I'm gay.
Yeah.
Whereas though somebody who may be more feminine may have a whole different experience than I have.
Mm-hmm.
So I think in that aspect, I'm safer because unless I tell you, you would not know.
And do you have a protocol for like world disasters and times of emergency traveling with groups? Or it's just like, we got to figure it out.
I need to figure that out.
You should figure that out. There's tsunamis and hurricanes and earthquakes and bombings.
Yeah.
Think about that. Put that in your protocol. You want to play a game with me?
Yeah.
Are you okay?
Let's take out the last part. Yeah. We do have a protocol. No, we don't, but we will. We will.
I'm not taking it out.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Thank you.
Because I was thinking about it. I was like, I never considered that, but I appreciate it.
Well, look, I'm giving you something to think about.
I appreciate it.
We're healing and you're growing at your big age. Okay, so let's play a game. Can you play a game with me?
Yes. I'm a little nervous. I've watched the show many times. These questions are always very...
No, listen, this is a chill one. This is a chill one. Okay? It's called Can You Imagine?
Okay.
You know, Can You Imagine? Okay, so two scenarios. Which one is more likely for your case, right? Very quick, very simple, very easy. Let's go. Can you imagine living in Los Angeles forever or Atlanta?
Atlanta.
Can you imagine wasting jollof rice or suckling pig? You know what suckling pig is?
No.
Bali. Dive into your cultural foods when you go back out there.
Well, that one, because I don't even know what it is.
Do you like jollof rice?
I do.
Okay. Do you eat pig?
I eat pork.
Pig, yeah.
Depends on what part of the pig.
Okay. Can you imagine dating a former sex worker or marrying a current pimp?
A current pimp.
Why?
So when you say sex work, I mean, I guess sex work come in all different forms. I think I could see myself dating a sex worker, a former sex worker. Yeah. No, I'm gonna go with that one.
Okay. Can you imagine losing your passport overseas or being arrested overseas?
You're
taking too long.
Losing my passport.
Can you imagine doing drag or getting an OnlyFans account for your nudes that you send?
Getting the OnlyFans account.
Really?
For my nudes. No face, but no face, but I would.
You thought about this before.
When I look at the my hidden file, I can make some money.
Okay, I know that's right. Can you imagine having 4 kids or 6 dogs?
I don't care for either.
You don't like kids or dogs?
No, I fell in love with one dog in my life, and I fell in love with other people's kids 'cause I can give them back. I can't imagine either. I don't want either.
Can you imagine jumping out of a plane or flying a plane?
I've already jumped out of a plane. Jumping out of a plane.
Can you imagine being in an orgy or recording an orgy?
Both. Being in one.
Because you've done that, you said. Your kink is group sex.
It's given very judgmental.
I'm just following up.
I know, but it's the way you look at me.
Do you watch the show? This is my face.
Judgmental.
Some would say.
But if my mom is watching this, I would just record it.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine robbing a bank? Oh my gosh. Can you imagine robbing a bank or robbing Paris Hilton?
Oh, robbing Paris Hilton for sure.
Oh, wow. All right. Well, thank you for playing the game for me.
Thank you.
Yes, you made it through. That was not hard.
You sure?
How can people keep up with you? What's up?
Like where they can find me?
Yeah.
Radio Rahiem.
What trips are you going on this year? Tell the people real quick.
Thailand. It's many. So the ones I really love. Thailand, Bali, Turkey and Egypt,
okay.
South Africa.
Yes.
Iceland and Switzerland.
Oh!
Philippines.
I've always wanted to go there.
And Jordan and Tel Aviv. Because I said Jerusalem online and I got slammed.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
I got slammed.
No,
like, why are you still calling it that?
Yeah, Tel Aviv.
So I just named the city.
Have you been to the Red Sea and the Dead Sea?
I've been to the Dead Sea.
I want to go there, yeah.
Yes.
Can you give me can I get an exclusive deal on these trips?
The question is, what are you willing to do?
Pray for you.
Because y'all
Thanks for coming, Rahiem. That was a great show. Cheers. See you next year. Hey friends, thanks so much for tapping into this episode. Make sure you subscribe, like, and follow for more right here on YouTube and wherever you stream your podcast. Oh, and visit archiej.com and follow me on social media at ArchieJSpeaks, okay? And don't miss our weekly conversations right here on the Archie Podcast. Get into it.